Today, I want to share 3 small stories that reveal a question many people spend their whole lives trying to answer. What truly makes a person rich? Some believe wealth lives in possessions, some chase it through ambition, and some discover it only after losing themselves in the pursuit. These 3 stories may appear simple, yet together they reveal the difference between owning much, needing much, and giving much. On a quiet shore, a fisherman spent his days catching enough fish to feed his family and return home before the sun grew high. His catch was modest, his home was simple, and his life was unadorned, yet there was a quiet contentment in every step he took. After work, he rested with those he loved, ate in peace, laughed easily, and watched the sky change color as evening approached. One day, a wealthy businessman noticed him and could not understand why a man with so little seemed so deeply at ease. The businessman asked why he did not stay longer at sea, catch more fish, earn more money, and slowly build a larger future. He described a grand plan. More fish would buy more boats would build a business, and the business would one day create great wealth. In time, he said, the fisherman could become successful, respected, and rich enough to finally retire and enjoy life in peace. The fisherman listened with patience, then asked the businessman one quiet question that changed the meaning of everything. "What would I do after all those years of striving?" he asked. "Once I finally reached the life you are promising me?" The businessman answered that he would then rest, enjoy his family, sit by the sea, and finally live with peace in his heart. The fisherman looked at him and replied, "Then perhaps I am already living the life you are still trying to build." In that moment, the measure of wealth shifted from accumulation to appreciation, and the shore itself seemed to grow wiser. The first lesson is this: a person may chase riches for decades, only to arrive at the peace another person already knows how to treasure today. There is nothing wrong with ambition, but ambition becomes a prison when it teaches us to postpone joy until some distant, uncertain future. True poverty is not always having little. Sometimes it is having much and still feeling unable to rest in the life before you. When gratitude enters the heart, simple things begin to shine with an abundance that no market can price and no title can guarantee. The first story reminds us that wealth is not merely the power to own more, but the wisdom to recognize when enough has already arrived. If a simple life can already hold peace, then why does the human heart keep asking for more? In another kingdom, a beggar once stood before a powerful king, carrying nothing but an empty bowl in his hands. The beggar asked for alms, and the king, amused by the simplicity of the request, decided to satisfy it beyond measure. With pride in his own abundance, the king ordered gold to be poured into the bowl until it was completely full. Yet to everyone's astonishment, the bowl did not fill. The gold kept vanishing into it as though the emptiness had no bottom. The king ordered more treasure. More coins, more jewels, and more riches were brought, yet the bowl remained just as empty as before. Soon the king's amusement turned into frustration, for he could not bear the thought that even his wealth had limits. The more he poured into that small vessel, the more clearly he revealed the helplessness of riches before endless desire. At last, the king asked the beggar what kind of bowl could consume so much and still remain unfilled. The beggar answered that the bowl had been fashioned from the human heart, which becomes bottomless whenever it is ruled by greed. The king fell silent because he suddenly saw that wealth alone can never satisfy a spirit trained only to hunger for more. A person may gather possessions endlessly and still feel poor within if the heart has forgotten how to rest, receive, and be thankful. The second lesson is this: desire without wisdom turns abundance into emptiness, because the appetite of greed. Need and greed are not the same. One asks for what sustains life, while the other keeps demanding more even after life is already sustained. When the heart is grateful, even little can feel full. When the heart is greedy, even abundance begins to feel painfully insufficient. The bowl teaches us that the problem is not always how much we possess, but the emptiness within the one who is doing the possessing. A rich life cannot be built by feeding a hunger that has no boundaries, because such hunger devours peace before it ever enjoys prosperity. And if endless desire can never be filled, then what kind of wealth actually grows when it is shared? In a quiet room, there stood a single lamp whose small flame brought warmth and clarity to the darkness around it. Around it were many unlit lamps, but the first lamp feared that sharing its fire might cause its own light to grow weaker. One of the dark lamps asked only for a spark, not to steal the flame, but to awaken its own. After a moment of hesitation, the first lamp allowed its flame to pass, and the second lamp came alive with light. Then the second lamp lit another, and another after that, until what began as a single flame spread quietly throughout the room. Soon the darkness had retreated, and yet the original lamp had lost nothing. Its own flame still burned just as brightly as before. It finally understood that some forms of wealth do not diminish when shared. They multiply. Kindness, wisdom, compassion, and love are not treasures to be locked away. Their true purpose is fulfilled when they are shared. The truest riches are often the ones that expand by being shared, because they nourish not just one life, but many. A generous heart does not become poorer through giving. It becomes larger, freer, and more alive in the very act of giving. To possess light for yourself may comfort one corner of the room. To share it may transform the whole house. Now the three stories begin to speak to one another, revealing three different faces of wealth and three different ways the human heart can relate to it. One person already had enough but did not need more. One discovered but still couldn't abundance full. From these stories, we learn that wealth is not measured only by what enters your hands, but by what lives within your heart and flows from your life. To be rich in the deepest sense is to know contentment, to recognize sufficiency, and to stop starving in the midst of what is already enough. If desire remains unexamined, it can turn prosperity into restlessness and privilege into a prison no luxury can unlock. Sure. But when the heart becomes generous, life changes. What we share begins to outlive us. A wise life does not reject work, comfort, or resources. It simply refuses to worship them at the cost of peace, gratitude, and love. Some of the richest people in the world are those who know how to share time, presence, wisdom, and compassion with open hands. The soul becomes lighter when it stops racing toward a far shore and begins fully inhabiting the life already here. The heart becomes fuller when it no longer demands that every empty feeling be solved by possession, status, or control. Do not trade today for a distant shore. Do not feed the bottomless bowl. And do not fear sharing the flame. Today, pause and name 3 things already present in your life that bring peace, support, or meaning. Then give thanks for each one. Before chasing something new, ask whether it is a true need or another endless desire. Then choose one unnecessary pursuit to release. Share one useful thing today. It may be your time, attention, knowledge, encouragement, or kindness. If this story spoke to your heart, subscribe to Ancient Wisdom Tales and join us as we keep sharing timeless wisdom, one story at a time.